What's up, guys, and welcome back to Let's Play Gungrave. So now we're moving on to stage 3. And apparently there's this random guy here who looks completely ridiculous, who's going to give us some more information about the Syndicate. Oh, they have airships in this city. That's definitely not in the anime. I like the whole futuristic cyberpunk feel of the game, though. I love the setting. Wait, did he say they'd be introducing the new boss? As in, Harry McDowell only recently became the boss? Which would imply... Okay, I'm gonna address that later on, because that might be a plot hole. Anyway, we've been ambushed! This might be actually my favorite level in the game, probably. Out of the 6 stages that the game has, this one might be my favorite. Right at the beginning here, we have an opportunity to do that move I was talking about, where we can kind of push forward on the analog stick and do kind of a sprint thing where we can still shoot at the same time, and mow some of these weaker enemies down that way. I still don't really recommend it because there's really no reason to gain that much ground on these enemies when you can't kill them in that amount of time anyway. But if you're just trying to get through the area quickly, and if you just want to melee them or something like that. So I'm glad it's in there. I just if this game wasn't so arcade style, then maybe moves like that would not have to exist because the controls would just work better. But whatever, it was done well for its time, and I wouldn't really have it any other way. I think it'd be great if they made a new Gungrave game, but or if there was a Gungrave game on the PSP actually, because without the use of the other analog stick, this game would actually would play really well on the PSP. But yeah, you want to be careful right here because there's these tram cars moving back and forth here that can knock you over. If I didn't say so before, we have another demolition shot now. We have the bullet dance, which actually I think we just unlocked another one, or unless that's not until the next level. But we're using it's called bullet dance, and we can it shoots with the machine gun part of our coffin, shoots 360 degrees all around us. With high explosive rounds instead of just using the rocket launcher. Yeah, this thing is loaded with heavy weapons, and yet we just carry it around like it's no big deal on our back. So, burst mode there. We saw one big enemy there, but he's not gonna be much of a threat. We're gonna fight some more guys up here, though, some more of these big guys. These guys, actually, especially there's a demonstration of the bullet dance there. Killed all 3 of them and blew up that car. Yes, we did unlock a new one, Hellhound Roar. This is actually a more powerful version of the rocket one. It is one of my favorite demolition shots in the game, actually, because it fires 3 rockets instead of 1, and it's a lot more powerful. So it's pretty freaking awesome. We can use that pretty much till the end of the game if we so choose. But there's one more we can unlock after that. So yeah, the big guys, if they get right up on you and they melee you with their swords, that you go into kind of a flinching animation, they can get several hits on you and deal quite a lot of damage. The ones with the machine guns, I'm not really worried about as much. The ones with the rocket launchers, of course, they can, physics you around and that sort of thing. The L2 button, you can, if I didn't mention before, the L2 button causes you to turn completely around, which is really helpful in times when you can't control the camera with the analog stick and that kind of thing. You gotta wheel your character all the way around. So it helps to be able to just, pop in the other direction and do a 360-degree turn. But I've discovered that the L2 button on my PS2 controller does not really work all that well. It's kind of jammed in there. So that's why during Transformers I've had such a hard time using deflector and that sort of thing. It's because I keep jamming it in there and it oftentimes doesn't work. And this was actually the first level I died on the first time I played the game because of these guys, but now it's not nearly as challenging. Now these guys don't seem nearly as much of late game tough enemies as much as they did back then. And again, one shoot dodge should be able to kill one of the big guys. I love how quick those loading screens are. Alright, this room can be kind of tricky. It's close quarters, and we can kind of go into burst mode here and in the center and kind of shoot all the guys behind the cover. There's demonstrated the Hellhound Roar there. Wow, that's freaking awesome. Yeah, we blew up all these little shops and whatnot. I would say something about this level being offensive, but it was made in Japan, so whatever. The game honestly feels very proud in Japanese for the most part, but the anime is very Western for some reason. Like, they really did a good job of making the anime appeal to a Western audience, and it has a lot of Western names too. Like, there's only a handful of characters in the game that are in the anime and that are actually Asian or have Asian names. We'll go into more of the names when we actually get introduced to the Big Five. Then we got the rocket launcher there. At least you can kind of see where they are, and you can kind of memorize their location after you've played it a couple times, and you can shoot dodge out of the way of those guys to pretty easily in the middle of your combo while you're shooting them. And there'll be some times where I'll want to just sit in one place and do burst mode to clear out a room to defeat an encounter, but then there'll be a guy who will launch a rocket at me, and I just have to dodge forward or, you know, whichever direction to get away from him, and that interrupts my combo. But then I just, you know, start shoot dodging like mad because it seems to help. This part really confused me because here we are, we're almost to this door here, and there's still enemies that haven't shown up yet, and they kind of drop in, like, right on top of you. Like, they dropped in behind me there, and I tried to use the Hellhound Roar on them, and it, like, totally missed one of them. I killed one of them, but not the other. So, and there's more guys that drop in behind you, and it doesn't make any sense, really, why this encounter happens the way it does. I feel like they were just like, oh, well, there's no more room to put enemies in front of us, so we gotta put them behind them. We reached a dead end in the level there. Alright, new enemy type, ladies and gentlemen. These are the Syndicate's Orgmen. They are people that have died and been resurrected through the necrolization process, which has caused them to be essentially sentient zombies. It's basically how we were brought back to life. And the necrolization process has been enhanced to where they can become superhuman to a certain extent, but they shatter when they die, and it's glorious, and our powerful Cerberus handguns are powerful enough to destroy their reinforced bodies. They are actually very tough, and they have very accurate machine guns, and they actually have what look like suitcases that are weapon racks that shoot at us, and that there's various different types of Orgmen, and they're going to be mixed in with all the encounters we fight now. They look like vampires almost, and they have like little demon wings on the side of their shoulders. They're actually pretty cool looking. But if you've ever seen the anime, you know, these are the primary enemies we fight, and they shatter in such a satisfying way in the show and in the game. So it makes more sense to be fighting them than to be fighting just these average everyday goons, you know what I mean? Alright, so there's this random freaking bulldozer that comes after us here, and we can just, we hit L2 to turn around like I was saying earlier, and just keep sprinting with the circle button. Don't even try to shoot it, there's no point. It's not really about to catch up to us either. Oh hey look, there's that airship that we were promised. No fall damage! This party's getting crazy. Let's rock. Alright, calm down. So, if you can get right in the center here, you can use burst mode to kill all these Orgmen that are in here. But they do something really annoying here. They have, like, they decide they want to jump around like they're on the moon or some crap, and they do it like really randomly, and it seems like they have a fixed location that they land at, like they have a scripted location they can jump to and land, and they're jumping around like fleas, and they land right there at the center of the stage. So they were landing like right where I was standing, and they jump back off again. Look at that. That's ridiculous. Like they're just hopping around like, and it actually makes them pretty difficult to track because they move so fast in the air, so unrealistically fast, you can't really see where they've gone to know where they're going to land. So you just kind of have to look around in the locations that you think they're going to land in and just see where they show up. and then try to shoot dodge them quickly enough to be able to, that was completely by accident. I didn't mean to do that at all. That actually might have screwed me over for the upcoming boss fight. I hope it didn't. You might think you could just stand in the center here and do burst mode, which you probably could, but again, they're moving so fast, it's better to just, you know, pump out as many bullets as possible with the shoot dodge. I think we got him. Alright. Introducing the Syndicate's Big Five. There's Harry McDowell, Ballad Bird Lee, Bob Poundmax, Bear Walken, and Bunji Kugashira. They call them the inner council in the game. They call them the executives in the anime. Alright, so time for a boss battle against Bob Poundmax. And he's going to send out a squad of Orgmen here, and the best way that I know of to get rid of all of them at once is obviously with a demolition shot, and using Hellhound Roar there we can get rid of all of his Orgmen and do a substantial amount of damage to him as well. Crap. He's got a pretty powerful weapon on him though. He can't really, he's got grenades he throws at us as well. But if you kill him, you actually, all of his Orgmen that are there get destroyed as well, so that's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to shoot dodge him to death, and then all of them are going to die anyway. Well, that was easy. So much for that. Alright, let's go after the others now. Crap, they're getting away. What the hell? Alright, time for round 2 against Bob Poundmax. This is his second form, and this is where the real fight starts. This actually happens. He's what they call, the executives are what they call superiors, and they have, you know, they mutate into much more powerful, because they're still alive, but they've been necrolized, so they turn into superiors. They're a lot more powerful. They have like these ultimate forms. So this one is going to be, this is actually one of the, I mean this is an easy fight, but there's a few things we have to worry about. He's got these bombs that he throws at us, and he's got a melee attack where he pounds the ground, and then he can, if he just collides with us, he deals a lot of damage too. And he's got an attack where he, you know, spins at us with his helicopter blades there. And it's pretty dangerous. If we walk and shoot at the same time, we can probably get him without having to lock onto him. And if we are locked onto him, if we can try to do a burst mode here, we can deal a lot of damage to him. But we have to keep moving because he's powerful enough to deal damage through our shields and into our health. So you just got to be careful, watch what he's doing, and make sure you have him in your sights at all times. And again, if you can deal some damage to him that way, do it, but the best way is just to do shoot dodges. Now if I had a demolition shot here, I did not use it the previous round, I would have been able to do what they call a graveyard finish here, which means if I use a demolition shot when he's low enough on health where it would kill him, we do a special animation. And they're all really cool. I'd like to get all of them for all the boss fights in the game if I can, but I messed up on this one, so I apologize for that, guys. Alright, so that's it for Bob Poundmax. That's 1 down and 4 to go. Alright, we unlocked the final demolition shot, the Raging Inferno.
Gungrave